morning and welcome to Outdoors with John. Today we're hiking the Tippecansett Trail. We're starting here in Rhode Island, actually just in Rhode Island. This is the state border behind me. The town here is Rockville, Rhode Island, and across the border is Voluntown, Connecticut. We just drove in about a half a mile on this dirt road, which can be a little bit rough, but certainly is passable with any decent clearance vehicle, not necessarily needing a four-wheel drive. We're going to start north here and on the Tippecansett. We're going to see how far we go, maybe as far as Beechdale Pond, and then return back to the car here. Here we can see that the blue blaze is for the Narragansett Trail and the yellow blaze is for the Tippecansett Trail. Today is March 24th. It's Sunday. It's in the mid 40s right now, expected to get a little bit warmer, so it's a perfect day for hiking. When I hiked this trail last time, I was heading in the opposite direction. Past few weeks I've been pretty busy taking an Appalachian Mountain Club class called Introduction to Winter Backpacking, and over a period of 5 or 6 weeks we went from classroom to a short hike up Wachusett Mountain and camping out in the backyard of our leader's home, to Mount Cardigan in New Hampshire and camping out at the base of the mountain after hiking up and back with our full gear, to last weekend's exciting conclusion where we actually camped near the summit of Fire Screw, which is a mountain with, right next to Mount Cardigan. And we camped at around 3,000 feet, and we believe the temperature got down to 10 degrees, maybe single digits, but there was a significant amount of wind chill up there on the mountain. So pretty exciting last few weeks. But now I'm just back in Connecticut, enjoying, well, actually I'm right on the border of Connecticut and Rhode Island. This trail pretty much follows the border, hiking in close to home. All right, we've come to the junction of the Tippecansett Trail, so we're going to follow Tippecansett Yellow and leave the Narragansett. This is a nice dry section of the trail since it's on rock, but the trail's been a little bit wet. It's been some warming up. There was some snow and rain the other day. Well, the trail's been pretty dry today. There's certainly some wet or muddy sections. So today I'm wearing my Merrell Moabs, which are waterproof, to help keep my feet dry. They are a little bit warmer, so you sacrifice for dryness. A lot of water crossings here on the Tippecansett Trail. Many of them have bridges, but this one has a series of rocks. Absolutely beautiful day out. Not a cloud in the sky. Bright and sunny, and the temperature is going up, getting into the high 40s. This section of the trail is owned by the Boy Scouts. And people are allowed to use it with their permission, and they're asking us to stay on the trail, so please respect that. So we are approximately 2 miles into the hike, and we are now leaving the Boy Scouts area, and we are going to be traveling on this old road for a while. We're walking on an old road. May have been the original alignment of Route 138 or Spring Street. Not sure of the history, but it runs parallel and then eventually crosses, which is good because I think walking on Route 138 wouldn't be all that much fun since it's a fairly busy road and we can hear it off. Okay, so follow 138 briefly till you get to the Exeter sign and the trail takes off here. Okay, nature has given us the opportunity to study the difference between the mountain laurel over here and rhododendrons over here, putting them in close proximity. We'll take a closer look at them. So let's start with the mountain laurel here. Mountain laurel leaves are smaller and green, and you can see the texture of the bark. It almost wants to peel off. It looks more like a vine. I'm sure there's a technical term for that. Rhododendron leaves are much larger. And if you look at the bark on the rhododendron, it is smoother and less like a vine. And the leaves are much larger than the mountain laurel. We're now 3.3 miles into the hike, and we've come to a junction. We're gonna go straight. So there's a lot of interesting stone walls around here. And there's either a house or a pavilion of some sort down there. We are now straddling the border of Connecticut to our left and Rhode Island to our right. All right, we've come to a trail junction here. This trail is the Tippecansett crossover trail. So if you go left, you're heading into the state of Connecticut. You'll eventually connect with the Patchogue Trail. If you continue right, you're staying on the Tippecansett Trail and you'll end up at Beechdale Pond. The trail has been relatively ice-free this morning. However, I do see a little bit of ice here. So it looks like we're dealing with some ATV activity, or at least some motorcycle. And I did hear some two-cycle engines up ahead here in Rhode Island. Don't know if they're legally allowed here or not. It is a dirt road in the woods, so I won't make any assumptions. But some of the trails are a little bit muddy because of them, and you may need to watch your step. Okay, our little fire road is dumped into a big fire road, and looks like we're going straight across here. Certainly this looks more like a forest road, which you could probably drive a standard car down. And good news is we're going back on the trail. So let's see what this stretch brings. It won't be long before we get to Beach Pond. For information, write to the Director of Coast and Geodetic Survey, Department of Commerce, Washington, D.C. Okay, and here it is, the marker itself. So we just finished walking the single track section of the trail, and it has brought us back down to the road that we crossed where the marker was. We came from that way, and the next time we jump into the woods, we'll actually be following the southeastern corner of Beach Pond, which is the Rhode Island end, all the way around to the actual beach, which will probably be about where we'll turn around, because that'll be around 5 miles, and we still have 5 miles to hike back today. This section of the trail has a ton of blowdown. It's very wet on top of that. It's pretty exciting. We're starting to get our first view of Beach Pond on the Tippecansett Trail. All right, we're reaching the trailhead here at Beach Pond. I believe it's Route 165. Pardon the trash, but that's the Tippecansett Trail marker. Good sized parking lot here. And some of the best hiking is right here around Beachdale Pond. Sorry, Beach Pond. So they have a boat launch here. I imagine this area is pretty crowded in the summer. Okay, so here we are. Okay, it's 5.5 miles to this point. I'm gonna head back, probably find a place to have my lunch, then mostly highball back to the car. Take a short but strenuous diversion off the yellow trail onto the white trail and bring you up onto this peak. This is a local favorite for rock climbing. That was a pretty cool view. So if you have any energy left over, I definitely highly recommend heading up the white trail at the base of this cliff and enjoying the view of Beach Pond. And we end right where we started, in Connecticut. We did 11.35 miles, close to 1,000 feet of elevation gain. The hike took just over 5 hours, and we had a couple of quick breaks along the way. The trail was very nice. I would say the beginning and the end were the best parts. Dinosaur Caves and out near Beach Pond were some very scenic stuff and some interesting stuff. We straddled a state line between Connecticut and Rhode Island on 2 separate occasions, and pretty much followed it for quite a bit. It was pretty flat in the middle. There was a little bit of climbing here and there, but I think it was rated difficult on all trails, and I would not rate this difficult. Although the whole section was 10 miles long on all trails, the section that we did was probably about 5.5 miles, maybe a little bit more than that. It was a good day for it. Temperatures were decent, and I would say the sun was with us most of the day. We lost the sun towards the end of the hike. One exciting thing about this trip was I got to see Dinosaur Caves. When we did the Narragansett Trail a month or so ago, we missed Dinosaur Cave. So starting here gave us the opportunity to see Dinosaur Caves. But anyways, thanks for coming along with me, and we'll see you in the next video on Outdoors with John.